again, you don't want to toss a bunch of heavy weight on them, but I think if you do add some resistance, they'll be fine.
Yeah, man, I'm just soaking all this stuff in, right, that you guys are sharing.
Right.
And, you know, as we're talking about it, I know there's a lot of amazing training facilities around locally, nationwide. One of the things I've realized, there's still a lot of kids, a lot of families that aren't necessarily accessing them because cost. Can you guys talk about that, the dynamic of cost? And this isn't to say who's charging what, who isn't charging what, but is there a way that training can be affordable yet still need to be an investment, you know, for families? We know that trainers deserve their pay. They deserve their wages because you guys are doing some amazing things. I mean, you said it earlier, you know, when we were kids, we didn't have training.
Right.
You know, we went outside and played. We played every sport, climbed trees. That was our training. I mean, rode bikes and, you know, I remember riding my bike from CD to the South End. You know what I'm saying? But kids don't play no more. But the training, what I am noticing, you know, on the football field, I can see the difference between the kids who train and the ones who don't. Even with my youngest son, who is a natural athlete, he's pretty talented. But I've been sharing with him, like, dude, these other kids are going to surpass you if you don't train, because talent plus hard work. You got to have that work ethic. So if you guys could talk a little bit about, you know, the need both for addressing costs, but also sharing with those that are looking why training, you know, even if you got to pay that cost, is definitely necessary nowadays from the standpoint of talent and hard work. Talk about that a little bit. But kids don't play no more. But the training, what I am noticing, you know, on the football field, I can see the difference between the kids who train and the ones who don't. Even with my youngest son, who is a natural athlete, he's pretty talented. But I've been sharing with him, like, dude, these other kids are going to surpass you if you don't train, because talent plus hard work. You got to have that work ethic. So if you guys could talk a little bit about, you know, the need both for addressing costs, but also sharing with those that are looking why training, you know, even if you got to pay that cost, is definitely necessary nowadays from the standpoint of talent and hard work. Talk about that a little bit.
I think if you look at it and say, am I getting what I'm paying for? Right? Is my son or daughter standing around? Is he receiving? Is he in the back of the line? Can I physically see him or her getting better? Do they have the necessary tools to assist my child in getting better? And are they coaching my child? Because I can see my child in the middle of the pack right now, and his form is all out of whack. Where's coach at? You know, we're paying you to clean that up. And obviously the kid isn't going to get it all at that training session.
Right.
Parents have to do a little bit of things at home to help out. And yeah, it's expensive. Crunching numbers, having machines and weights and different apparatuses for these kids to work out with, it's spendy. So you need to get, you know, what you're paying for. It comes down to me with the parents' extracurricular activity. If you want to invest in your kid, if you want to see your kid be great, put down the fast food. Add that up. Add that up monthly, what you do monthly, and say, okay, I'm gonna put that down. I'm gonna pay for this kid to get this training, and now watch me start getting healthier. Yeah, right. Yeah, we just did kill two birds with one stone. You know, extracurricular activities and budgeting, and have it's another bill now, because everybody is training. You look at LeBron James. Who's going to be the next LeBron James? You know what I mean? Who's going to be the next Michael Jordan? The game is getting bigger, stronger, faster, year in, year out, and the key is they're training earlier now. Right? And so if my deal is, man, if he's training, he's training, I'm going to get my butt in that gym and get going. Because I'm not about to let them be better than me. They're not taking the food off my plate. You know, I got to go compete with these guys, and if he's training for 6 months, I'm training for 12. You know, I need to figure it out, and I mean, it's what the game is nowadays. You know what I mean? So it's an investment. Yes, parents. I'm in the training world, and I'm like, prices, you know, but it's, for me, we're going to give you every single thing that you're paying for. If you wanted to learn how to play cover two, I'm going to teach your kid how to play the best cover two possible.
Right.
You know, if he wants to be a better squatter, we're going to do exactly what he needs to do to become stronger in that squat. You know, so you just got to kind of budget for it and figure out where it is for your family. Ask questions. I'm a big fundraise guy. I got a book on fundraisers. Get out. My cousin, she ran in the Hershey's. She had to fundraise, man. She made $50,000 fundraising.
Wow.
She did that. I mean, car washes. And, you know, she would switch up her routine and do something different. Switch up the area, the location, and do something different. And she made a lot of money, and she did really well for herself. And that just went to what she was doing. You know, she needed blocks. She got blocks, spikes, travel costs, hotel costs, whatever it was. And now she, you know, she was set up for herself. So
sounds like you need to have kids need to have some type of investment as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't just say, I want to do this, and, you know, for my son, he's like, well, Dad, I want this, that, and the third. So there's going to be a certain amount of things that I give you. Right, but the rest of it, you're working for it. You know, you got to meet me halfway with it. You know, and so, like, in the season, we'll do, like, little incentives for him, little touchdown incentives, and he'll, hey, Dad, and this is pretty cool. I really want to get some more parachutes. Can you help me get that? Here's half of it. You got it. Right. What you want, some resistance? You got it. So, I mean, just figuring out a way that's comfortable for your family. Does it cost? Yes. You have to pay it, man. And, you know, make sure parents ask for if there's a payment plan or a down payment you can put down just to make it easier. Hey, can I bring in some more kids and knock down my costs? There's always ways that us as trainers are willing to help you, because we're not trying to break the bank. But, you know, you got to realize that we are away from families. We are spending time at home, making these plans. It's not like, hey, I just grabbed this plan out cloud and I'm going to give it to your kid, because I think we're all more personal than that, and we change up routines on a certain period of time, you know, and try to give these kids, every kid is different, so we try to give them exactly what they need to succeed.
Man, I'm just pumped up by what you just said, because did you say you're planning at home? Now, I just want to make sure. You mean y'all do homework?
Absolutely.
Y'all prepare for kids, so it ain't just shooting from the hip when you get out there working with these kids?
I've seen it, man. I've seen a coach put out a McDonald's napkin, man. He had this, that, and the third. Okay, did you just make that? You're gonna give that to my kid right now. That's halfway doing it. I don't want to be lukewarm. I want to jump in this thing all the way boiling hot. I want everything out of it. I want my kid, if we're on a speed day, I want my kid to feel fast. If we're on a conditioning day, I want him to feel like he got conditioned. You know, if we're on a plyo day, I want him to feel like he can jump out the gym. I'm going to pay you for that. So
here's one thing to consider, right? When you talk about cost, and you can go on Glassdoor and look at it. The average salary for a trainer in the United States right now is like $32,000, right? So the vast majority of them aren't getting rich, right? In the training business, so you're in it for something else, right? And I think a lot of trainers, you know, you got trainers who want to train for this, but when you start talking about sports-specific training, you know, I think personally, and me personally, I'm not. You know, I'm not. This is not the newest get-rich scheme out there, and I get it. It's a training facility around every corner, but you know, we have to make this affordable for all, right? Just as much for the kid that may live in a really upscale neighborhood whose parents make a lot of money, as well as the kid who's, you know, they struggling just to put food on the table, right? And so, you know, to Kevin's point, nobody that I know that I would recommend to somebody would turn away a kid in that situation, to where this kid, you know, they just trying to eat, right? They trying to keep the heat and lights on. The heat and lights was off for a week, right? You know, and you got to have a trainer that has that type of compassion in the heart, because if they don't, then I think they're in it for the wrong reason. And then for them, it's all about finances. So that's really my whole, you know, really take on the cost.
I think finding a way. We had a kid when I was at Rise. He came and said, "Coach, man, I got brothers and sisters, mom and dad struggling. What can I do?" I said, "Oh, The weight room's been dirty.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want to clean the white room the right way. I want you to mop the floors. I want you to wipe the weights off. I want you to put this back, do that, take the garbage out. And this is, we wrote down his costs and how much he's getting paid hourly, and he covered his costs.
Wow.
You know,
That's a
so
beautiful thing.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you guys have blown me away with the way you guys have answered these questions. I mean, I believe that this is very informational, you know, to a lot of parents that don't get to hear this. You know what I mean? They're kind of shying away from the whole training aspect because, like we said earlier, you know, it's been based on when I was growing up. You know, we went outside and played, and you know what I mean, and we ran, and you know, that was your training. That's how you got better. But clearly, as we see on, you know, from the basketball court to the football field to whatever it may be these days, that training is at the forefront. And if you don't, your child's lacking. You know what I mean? I mean, I hate to say it that way, but you know, natural talent just isn't enough anymore. You know what I mean?
We had a conversation with the college coach, and he said, you know, how we recruit and what we want. They call them OKGs, our kind of guys. We want to make sure they're wired right. That wiring doesn't just happen in high school. It starts early. You know, the why. What's your why? You know, the academic aspect of it, the community aspect of it. How do you act in the community? These guys, man, if we're talking about, and we'll talk NFL later, but we're talking about getting these kids to college, giving these kids a fighting chance to go get an education, and then, you know, if they go league, great, but now they're going to get in the working world, and all of it just goes hand in hand. So it's a huge investment. You want your kid to be an OKG. You don't want them to be just, hey, well, he's all right. If you're really at home talking about being a great high school athlete, not a good, I tell you guys all the time, good's not great enough. Everybody's good. You know, if you want to be great and set yourself outside the norm, outside that comfort zone, you have to be in some type of training nowadays. It's the culture now. You know, so.
Well, let me ask you guys this final question from me. I got a chance to go see athletes on the national scale all over the country. And I want to hear you guys' thoughts about the talent pool we have here in Washington, you know, athletically. Can you guys talk about that as trainers? What are you seeing now, and especially on the younger level? We know we got some high school studs, but they started off young too. What are you guys seeing in Washington State in general, you know, specifically right now, because we're getting ready to go into football season pretty soon here. What are your thoughts, and give us some input on what your observation is as you assess Washington State?
For me, and this is stemming from when I was coming up, I hate that they put that on us, that we're not a football state. We absolutely are. A lot of people don't get out in the element and what we normally play in football-wise. They want to say, oh, I'm going to go lift weights, because it's inside, I'm not cold, I'm not wet. Get outside, dress for the occasion, strip down as you get hot, and go run. That's going to set us apart. Running is everything. When I went off to California and to Utah, we were playing with guys from Mississippi, Texas, all over, Arkansas, Alaska, wherever it is. And you start seeing, well, they got some missing components too. They might be fast. He might be able to catch. You know, he might be big, but does he have the total package? You know, that's your whole body being put together and you've trained the right way. I think if you do that, we're just as good as anybody in the nation. And we're seeing it with our FBUs and, you know, our 7-on-7 teams around here. We're going out and we're competing and giving these guys a run for their money. My biggest thing, man, I tell my son this all the time. I say, hey, man, did he wake up in the morning and jump 10 feet and put his drawers on? Well, if he did that, then you better be afraid of him. But if not, you better go and take his lunch. Right? It's just how you get after it, man. When I went to California, like I said, I ran a 4.28. You know what I mean? And those guys from California and Texas, and they weren't running that. You know, now we're talking about covering. Being a receiver or DB. You ain't getting away from me. You know, I'm going to put these hands on you. I've mastered my craft on bump and run. You know, and I'm confident in it. So it's just really about building your style of play and then having the training, which is going to bring the confidence for you to go out to that next level and show off your talents. You know, shoot, you can go to a camp in you woke up in the morning, you had an outstanding breakfast, and you're feeling great. And that guy from Florida woke up in the morning and ate some fish crackers or something. Who's going to perform better? Right. So it's kind of up in the air, but I think we're there. I think we've most definitely made our mark. And I was telling you guys earlier, Washington is now the hot spot for recruiting, whether it's NCAA or whether it's NFL. These scouts are coming out here because of the things that are going on here, and I think it's phenomenal. With whoever you're training with, they're just latch onto it and enjoy the ride and continue to get better because you're putting yourself up here. It's my final point is you're never competing against you or the other team. You're competing against the bar you set. And if you want that bar to keep dropping, that's on you. But for me, my bar is going to keep going through the roof. I'm going to find new avenues and new ways to break that bar and get it higher in the sky. My dad always told me when I was a kid, man, to be the best, you got to work a little harder than the rest. That's not in this state. That's nationwide.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome.
Well, I agree. I wasn't a 4.2 guy, but I was a 4.3 guy. And I played at the University of Montana. My brother played at the University of Washington. My other brother played at the University of Oregon. So, and that's going back. So the talent is here. I worked a national event down in Oregon last year. Right, the #1 rated offensive lineman came out of here. Right, the kid that ran the fastest 40, right, tied with the guy from Texas, was from here. Right, the #1 rated tight end coming out of there was from here. Right, so not only is it here, but I think because of the economic situation in this area, we got room to grow.
Absolutely.
Right, you got room to grow. And when I was doing some things in recruiting, some years back, I remember talking to a coach, and I remember one thing that he said to me about kids in this area. He's like, the one thing that we like about kids in this area is you get a kid in Texas, and then this is no knock against a kid from Texas or Florida, and remember, I'm from Georgia. Those kids are used to performing in these conditions.
Yeah.
You get a kid from here, they can perform in anything. They can perform in the cold, the rain, the rain, the sun.
Right.
They're used to all of these different elements. Versus I'm not. If I bring a kid, from Texas to the University of Montana or the University of Idaho or Washington State or even Oregon out here, how well are they going to do in the elements, right? Yeah, are they going to seize up? Are they going to be able to perform in it? So I think it's not only is it here, but I think when you look at basketball, this was not, one of those basketball hubs. You go back, there was Doug Christie, there was a guy here and a guy there. Now they're all over the place. Why? Because the infrastructure has been built for basketball, in this state. So that's why they come out of here left and right. Now, they're all over the place. The basketball here, the inner city basketball, the AAU basketball here is as good as it is anywhere in the country. Right? And that same exact thing can happen for football. We just need to build a little bit more infrastructure around it. Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I thank you guys. Sean, you got any last thoughts?
Man, I just feel like this was a great conversation. I'm glad that we were able to sit down and talk about these things. Hopefully, parents have grasped this and they're able to utilize this and reach out to you guys as well, to us. You know what I mean? So I'm excited. I'm happy. That we had this. So
Yeah, most definitely.
So how do they get a hold of you guys?
Right.
Since you mentioned that, once you guys look at the camera, tell them how they can reach you if they want to get some training with you guys.
Yeah. So you can just email me as Stacy Stacy.Edwards with the S @gymguys.com, or just give me a call 425-559-4252.
Yeah. You can reach me on email 4dsports@gmail.com or call my cell phone 20